Former President Trump held his mega donor fundraiser in the state on Saturday night. It was a night for the record books for former President Trump. The campaign and the RNC raised more than $50 million just at that fundraiser dinner on Saturday. The number, nearly double what President Biden brought in at his recent fundraiser here in New York.
A whole lot of them is a bunch of billionaires, scammers, extremists, and racists who understand that if they fund Trump's legal fees, he's going to cut their taxes while he cuts our Social Security. And so that's just the fundamental contrast that you have between the fundraising operation that we're building up and how it's allowing us to communicate with the voters and the money that Trump's raising from a bunch of billionaires that's doing nothing more than paying off his legal fees right now.
All right, so scammers, extremists, and racists.
Yeah, that is the campaign. That's the talking point for the campaign. That's all it's going to be for the rest of the year.
Trump said he's raised $50 million, which is like about twice what Biden raised 2 weeks ago. Again, the New York Post has a lot of connections to Trump world that said Trump was jealous of Biden's event with the two other presidents.
The largest single event fundraiser in politics ever was the one that Joe Biden had, and he needed 3 presidents to haul in $26 million. He needed celebrities like Lizzo, Stephen Colbert, Anna Wintour. We needed one man, Donald J. Trump, one president, to double that. It was history made last night. Some of the people who came last night to this event had not contributed at a level like this ever before. People are not sitting on the sidelines anymore. They understand what's at stake. It's a must-win election. And from the election integrity perspective, we're focused on it like a laser at the RNC.
Former President Trump setting a new fundraising record with his more than $50 million haul. That was at a fundraiser last night down in Florida. That was nearly doubling what President Biden raised recently right here in New York City. Fox News correspondent Madison Scarpino is in Palm Beach tonight.
Trump made over $50 million, according to the RNC. That's nearly double what President Biden raised at an event with former presidents Clinton and Obama. This was the first major fundraiser for Trump and the RNC since he became the party's presumptive presidential nominee. Trump said Americans want change.
The election's going to be in now a little more than 6 months, and it's going to be the most important, I believe, election we've ever had.
High-dollar donors paid anywhere from $200,000 to $800,000 to have dinner with the former president.
A lot of donors who were previously on the fence about a Trump candidacy start embracing him. And even more importantly for his campaign, opening their wallets. A dozen billionaires are set to attend a dinner that costs as much as $814,600 per person and puts them on a list that includes New York Jets owner Woody Johnson, Chicago Cubs owner Todd Ricketts, and casino mogul Steve Wynn.
Governor, I got to believe a lot of the donors at the event were not originally Trump supporters. So what was the mix of people, and what does it say about the consolidation of support?
Well, certainly it was a night of unification, a night of support. In some ways, it's the official kickoff of this campaign. And among the donors, there was people there that have known President Trump for 30, 40, 50 years. There's people that have come into the fold more recently.
People we had last night at this fundraiser are the titans of industry. And some of these people, Maria, did not initially support Donald Trump in this election, but they understand now this is the only way we save our country, to get behind this one man. He truly is the person who they know can do it. And I think we're going to be targeting all of those people out there. And I don't even think we need to ask them. I think they will come back in the fold, because when the choice is between going, as we have been with Joe Biden, on a destructive path for our country and the world, or saving America under Donald Trump, every person in this country wants to save America. That's why I believe they will come over to the team, and we're going to get Donald Trump back in there.
You mentioned that this is a billionaire fundraiser. We know about the mega donors in attendance, but who else was there?
Yeah, of course we had those mega donors last night, but 3 big names in bold on that invitation that was obtained by News Nation. It was entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy. We also saw Tim Scott, that senator out of South Carolina, as well as Doug Burgum, North Carolina's governor. Now, all 3 of these people have something in common, and that is the fact that they all used to be opponents of the former president. They all ran against him in the primary, but now they're out campaigning for him, fundraising for him. And when I talked to my sources in the Trump campaign, they tell me that this was just another sign of the VP tryouts.
Governor, you just said it. What needs to happen? What needs to happen for the Trump campaign, for the RNC? What, if you were to give one recommendation, hey guys, let's focus on this to get the win, what would it be?
Well, I think there's two things that the RNC is focused on, and that's get out the vote, and then it's protect the vote.
Where will you allocate this money?
We are going to spend every single dollar that we raise on two key critical core missions for the RNC, which are getting out the vote and protecting the ballot. And we're going to make sure that we are focusing on the battleground states and districts where we need to be competitive and making sure that every dollar that we raise is going to be putting lead on target.
Get out the vote is important, but ensuring a secure election is what a lot of people want to know what you're doing about, Lara. Tell me about that. You've said this is a priority. You said that the Republican National Committee has been revamped and is now a bonded entity with the Trump campaign. Tell us about it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Look, I've been through two previous elections, of course, as my father-in-law has run. And look, we have always seen the support of the RNC, but we've never been one cohesive unit.
And getting out the vote, the depth of energy, the intensity. When I've had a chance to go around the country in recent weeks, in places like Clark County, Nevada, the voter intensity and support for President Trump is deep. And as you know, it cuts across, all demographics we're seeing right now, where Trump is winning with groups that he was by larger margins than he ever has been before. But part of it is because the citizen, the average person that's working, they know that under Joe Biden's inflation, if they've got savings, they've lost 30% of its value, and they know that it's costing more to put food on the table, gas in their car, pay for their electric bill. So they understand. They understand that they were better off under President Trump than they are right now under Joe Biden. And these voters, they trust President Trump on the border. They trust him on the economy. They trust that he's going to be tough on China. They trust that he's going to help make our cities safer. They trust him that he's going to be able to stop the wars. And so on all the things that matter to voters right now, President Trump is winning. So the voter intensity is there, but we've also got to make sure that we protect the vote and make sure that the voting that actually happens, the votes get counted correctly.
Protect the vote big time.
We are ensuring that this election, we are leaving nothing to chance. I talked about it previously on this show with you before, Maria. We never before at the RNC have had an election integrity division. All of our resources we can put into this division as needed. We have the funding now to ensure we can train poll workers, not just have poll watchers, that we can have lawyers in every voting precinct necessary across this country. We are making sure that we leave nothing to chance because we have to understand the importance of this election.
To make sure that we get the rules of the road right. And if they're not, we're going to go file lawsuits. We've already filed over 80 different lawsuits in 24 states to make sure that we have the ground ready to go for safe elections. Secondly, we are recruiting and training tens of thousands of observers, and we're recruiting and training thousands of attorneys to make sure that we are in the room whenever a vote is being cast and a vote is being counted.
Virginia Democrats are trying to ban election audits after the fact. I mean, what can you do now while you have the time, Michael? And is it too late to make some of the changes you're efforting?
It's absolutely not too late at all, and that's why we are so aggressively working in all of these states. We have set up election integrity program, as Laura just mentioned. We are hiring election integrity directors and election integrity councils in all of our battleground states to make sure that we're working with the state governments and the local governments all across the board to get the rules of the road right. What we want are fair, accurate, secure, and transparent elections, and when we have it, then we're going to protect the sanctity of that ballot. We're going to make it easy to vote and hard to cheat.
Anyone out there who wants to volunteer to do any job whatsoever, whether you're a lawyer, you want to volunteer, a person who wants to ensure that we have free and fair elections, which, by the way, every person, Republican, Democrat, or independent, should want in this country, protectthevote.com. Come join us. Come ensure we have free and fair elections. Because, Maria, quite frankly, if we do not, nothing else ultimately matters. We are not able to call ourselves the United States of America anymore.